Cats fans, it's Ben Reeve here from the Hoop Show, and we're going to go through some tweets of the week for this week. And our first tweet this week is from the Chaps Chat Cats. Now, the Chaps are saying that an extra 2 goals in the first half would have given us necessary breathing space. Backline left exposed by speed. The ball came out of the centre in the second half of the third quarter. Got back into it in the last 3 goals, 4 in the fourth. The game of 2 halves and fine margins. Yeah, definitely a close game. I mean, the blowout in the third quarter didn't make it feel that way, but 10 points. It was pretty close for 3 quarters, except for that third quarter there. And yeah, if not for some posters and some line ball decisions, goal line could have been a very different story. Another goal here or there would have really just made it harder for St Kilda. But, door was left open and they took advantage of it. So that's how it is. Thanks, chaps. Now, Matt Croft says, it is what it is. We're at bottom of the 8 side right now. Keep playing the kids over the... Where's it gone? Keep playing the kids over the likes of Higgins and Dale, and maybe we catch fire with a slew of games at Kidney Park to come. Let's hope so, Matt. We do have quite a few games at home. I think 7, which will see us out for the rest of this year. 2 in a row coming up with a bye sandwiched in the middle there. But let's hope, we get the job done, or we'll bank a fair chunk of the wins moving forward. We're only 5 wins at the moment. You'd probably want to have another, 8? We'll see. We're still in the top 8. We're 7th, but you're right. It is what it is. Who knows? Who knows? Come September, we just might it just might click, and it will just be one of the first teams to win it from 8th, or 2nd or 3rd to win it from 7th or 6th. It can happen. Not going to happen, but it can happen. So we shall see on that one. Hey. All right, who's next? So Peter Chapman says, not going to be much better than mid-ladder how we are now. Need to shake the tree and make changes all around. Some guys we thought would improve and step up have not and will not. Any business managed by one for so long needs new eyes eventually. It's now. I think you're probably referring to Chris Scott. So, yeah, look, I agree with that. There's definitely times when new voice is necessary. I still don't think it's now, but I do feel like the message this year about the game style just hasn't worked. I've seen enough. 9 weeks in, Peter. I don't think we need to see any more. We'll beat Port and we'll be all cock a hoop again and we're 6 and 4. They'll just feel the following week or the week after we'll drop another one and it'll be back to that 50% win rate, and it'll just be like, it's not going to win a grand final for us. So I think I'm seeing enough. But anyway, thanks, Peter. Now, Ross Mueller says, clean possession early, looked fast and surgical. Second half looked slow and unstructured. Saints are good. Cats are consistently inconsistent. Well, aren't they? Last 6 weeks, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. We're favourites against Port, so back on the winners list next week maybe, but we'll see. It's frustrating. You just don't know. It's a tipster's nightmare picking Geelong if you do your tipping, but I think I'm going to... Geelong's a hard one because you've always been like, even if you think they're going to lose, history would say they will win 70 to 80% of their games throughout a regular season, so you just tip them every week. But this year, she's got no idea. They'll probably beat Port 4 games in a row. Port's playing some good footy at the moment, and then follow up and we'll lose to Adelaide. You've got no idea with Geelong. Their best is really great to watch. Their worst is not great. Not at all. So, thanks, Ross. Morrison is toast from Catman Forever. The Cats show consistently when the game is really on the line against good opposition. They don't have what it takes, like they used to win anymore. Premiership window is closed. I think it is. I think this year anyway. Look, things can happen in the footy world. Like you think your team is down and out, and we're in rebuild phase, and the next year it's just amazing how it can turn. but it can also turn the other way. Like we could fall off a cliff and lose the next 10 games, and yeah, it'd be pretty much farewelling a bunch of guys. For this, it'll be a farewell tour for the second half of this year, which we don't hope doesn't happen, but yeah, it can happen. So let's hope not. But I do think this year, 2022, the premiership window is closed. Thank you, Morrison is toast. Now, what is Matt saying? Matt says we're on the cliff, about to fall off. I think you mean in terms of the era. I'm on the cliff about that one actually. So I think maybe we are. Then again, Geelong finds a way to keep bringing you guys through and doing enough to win more games than we lose. So I just got to feel like if the wheels really fall off this year, are we going to see 3 or 4 players retire throughout the year or at the season's end? And if so, what does that look like for the next couple of years? We're not a destination club anymore, and do we lose a couple of players that, like a Menengola who maybe can get 3 years somewhere else, maybe he's not going to get played as much. It's a snowball effect, so let's hope it doesn't happen. Believe that Geelong's always found a way until it happens. Hopefully, I'm just going to keep hoping that we don't fall off a cliff and we'll keep finding a way to win. Thanks, Matt. Another Matt. How many Matts have we had on? 2 Matts. Matt Dorr says, I've never seen Tom Stewart drop so many marks. Cameron's lack of effort at times is deplorable. A couple of people said that. Narkle needs to go back to the 2s and work on his defensive running. Probably, yeah, well, he definitely needs to work on his defensive running. I just don't think the message is getting through to Narkle. Fortunately, or whether he's, I don't know, wants it enough. Just not really seeing it. I mean, I probably wasn't noticing the defensive running as much on the weekend, but I just thought he's the kind of bloke that can't really have a poor game offensively. Just fumbled so much and poor decisions. And that side of his game needs to be tip top because clearly the deficiencies are at the running chasing when he hasn't got the ball, and just knowing where to be. And so that was a bit of a disappointment. Thanks, Matt. Now, Chris, what's Chris saying? Chris says, last tweet, I think, Chris says the window is closed. Another one that's saying the window is closed. When the game sped up in the third week, we got old very quickly. Scott's been great, but perhaps a fresh start for him at GWS and a new coach and some youth for us might be the best for both parties. So look, I like it when it's fine to put Chris Scott down, and I personally think he's a good coach, and think we need to change some players out. But I hear what you're saying, and I like the way you went about it. He's he might look at other options as well. Who knows? I think Alistair Clarkson's probably the number one target for GWS and probably for a couple of clubs potentially. Gold Coast, before they started knocking off a few teams over the last couple of weeks, probably thinking new coach. But they're another one that could fall off or could go on a bit of a run. Interesting one. But Chris, I think it's been he's had a good run at Geelong. I think if anything, he'll walk rather than we'll push him, unless things really get messy. But yeah, we'll wait and see. But anyway, thanks, Chris, and thanks to everyone who sent in tweets, including those that I haven't read out this time around. I'll try to get to you next time. Really appreciate that, and you chat through the week through the games and all that. And I'll see. Check it. What's today? Tuesday. So check in tomorrow night for. I think we're up to chapter 5 of Draft Wars. That's my epic movie voice. Draft Wars. So check that one out. That'll be a bit of fun. And I think that's pretty much it for this week. So I'll catch you in a few days. All right. See ya.